Thursday morning, the second half hour of the show today. We're joined by Phillip Morris, County Commissioner, District 5, Talladega County, and Ronnie Davidson, citizen of Sycamore, Alabama. Good morning, gentlemen, to you both.
Morning.
Good morning. When I first heard about this story that we're going to talk about this morning, I'm saying, this cannot be. Mm-hmm. The closing of the post office in Sycamore. Ronnie, you've lived there since dirt.
Yep.
How did this develop?
We're not sure. Now, the story is that we finally got was that there's a termite problem in the building. So we're thinking, okay, maybe temporarily may have some structure damage that they've got to address, but time went on, we kept getting conflicting stories from different people, and I was by there just 2 days ago, and there was employees with the post office here in Sylacauga in the post office just stripping everything off the wall.
In Sycamore?
Yeah, off the walls, taking down any memos.
That's not a good sign.
My opinion is they're probably closing it.
Yeah.
But the frustrating thing that has been with me and other citizens I've talked to in Sycamore, it's just frustrating. We can't find anybody that can give us concrete answers, and that's just not right.
And you contacted Commissioner Morris.
Yeah, and Philip's been the only one of any government type official that has been willing to be involved in it and try to help us. I first contacted our state representative, Ben Robbins, and he just referred me to Mike Rogers' office because it is a federal entity and a facility. So I contacted them, got in touch with an assistant there in Oxford, and for a while she was involved and telling me that they were writing letters. But since then, this has been going on 3 months and no communication there. So we just don't know where to go. We've talked to the postmaster here in Sylacauga. Phillip has talked with him on numerous occasions. My wife has talked with him. And 1 minute they're saying they're going to fix the building. It's taking time, termite problem, etc.
Phillip, this is a prime example of progress, if any, is very, very slow in government, especially national government.
Exactly. It's frustrating. When I got involved with it, I kind of put myself in that situation. I've got a mailbox in front of my house. It got in trouble, so I had to, it wasn't tall enough for the mail carrier, so I had to raise it. So 2 or 3 days, I had to go get my mail. And I live a lot closer than Ronnie and them do. That's aggravating when you need to get your mail. You got a lot of senior citizens that live in that area down there. Some of them's not even able to drive a car to Sylacauga to pick up mail, so they're having to get other people in the neighborhood to help them get their mail. The postmaster said it was a disgrace to the community. And it's an old building. It's a real old building. There's a lot of them out there. I also figured out they closed down some more. It's not the first one. It may be some kind of vamp they're doing.
Maybe streamlining or something,
It could be. They put a lot of money in place to redo the post offices. But I was told about the termites, also told about asbestos. Well, if you know anything about asbestos, if you bother it, it'll bother you. But we got a lot of buildings in the South that's been built with asbestos. Probably the post office here has got asbestos, if I had to guess. I don't know that. But, I understand it looks bad, but you're talking about a bunch of elderly people that was getting their mail there. I don't know why that we don't have roadside service anyway. We have a mail carrier out of Talladega that comes right through there, delivers some mail on the other side of Sycamore and some of their routes, but they can't let these folks put up mailboxes. That would be the simple thing. Let them all go buy a mailbox and put up. You're talking about 545 boxes. I mean, that would be easier to maintain than a building and have an employee. Of course, the employee only worked part-time in that building anyway. But the biggest thing is, like Ronnie said, there's just no communication. I mean, it's like talking to a brick wall.
The frustration of it and I don't know exactly, we just mentioned the number of people that are affected there, but the frustration part of just not knowing.
Yeah, no communication. And
this has been going on how long now, right? 2 months, 3 months?
Probably 3 months. And what he's talking about, I've talked to Alpine. Alpine is a rural route post office as well. And I've talked to Talladega. Of course, I can get no answer there, you know. But you can go a mile in any direction from the center of Sycamore, and people are getting their mail for free. They got a box at the end of the driveway. And I'd like to read you something if I can.
Sure.
A lot of people don't even know what RFD means. It means rural free delivery. It was instituted in 1896, and it was to provide free mail delivery to people that didn't just live right around a post office. Well, I live a block away or so, a block and a half from this post office. It's not a problem for me to continue to get my mail at the post office. Now, I think it's unfair I'm paying $200 a year for
I was about
rent.
to say how much it costs to rent it.
And there's people paying more than that.
Yeah.
And nobody's paying any less than 180. And I did find out through the lady that works for Mike Rogers, she lives in Oxford.
Yeah.
She pays $80 a year for a post office box. And we're paying more than double that. And I don't understand that, but I can't get any answers. You know, I'm an old guy, I'm 80 years old, and I still believe in the old way. This government that we live in was mentioned in a book by Abraham Lincoln, that we are I'm going to read what he said, I'm going to quote him directly. It is, sir, a people's constitution, the people's government, made for the people, made by the people, and answerable to the people. I like that part. The people of the United States have declared that this Constitution shall be the supreme law. Now, that's the law that we all live under. And I don't want to get on a side track of what's going on in our world today in the government. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
That's for another day.
Sure, but what we're dealing with is reflective of that. It's gotten to where, you know, I remember a time when you mentioned the newspaper, the Daily Home, the Birmingham News, the Birmingham Post Herald, you immediately thought of the freedom of speech. They represented the freedom of speech. And if you had an editor you could go to, you had a guy on your side. He would fight for you. He would dig things up and get facts and that. Those days are kind of gone. But we are still a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And it should be answerable to us. But I'm finding out real quick, like through this little situation, that there's people out there that's working in government positions that just simply don't have to give you an answer.
Philip, you are a lot younger than both myself and Ronnie. And we're an older America. We're an older Alabama. We're an older Talladega County. And men like Ronnie have worked hard all their lives, and they just want to be fairly treated. And as a leader in our community, as our County Commissioner of District 5, this gotta get to you to know that, hey, I just can't get this answer the way I want to.
It stings, but to go back to what you said about age, yeah, I'm a little younger than y'all, but I'm off that same block. Now, ain't many of us left. Things change, people's change. But it stings because anything I've ever been faced with and I had to attack and try to fix, usually I got it done. It took a little while, but it took a lot of hoops. But with the situation with the United States Post Office, boy, I tell you, I just don't have a lot of pull, a lot of bite. You know, so my county commissioner don't mean a whole lot because of the United States Post Office. But I've had conversations with them. You know, I've been told several things, and it's disheartening. I appreciate you letting us come on. I don't know where this will go, but I wish somebody would pick it up. Ronnie's reached out to Six on Your Side and several people, and no response. And you'd think somebody would pick it up.
Maybe this goes across the state of Alabama, so maybe we can get some good at it. Ronnie, are we losing mail? People losing mail because of
sure. We get other people's mail. Well, now, when that happens, and we're going to do the right thing, we have to make an extra trip back down here, or bring it the next time and return it. So that's delayed those people's mail by another day or two or whatever. And it's and you know, not everybody's the same, but it's at least an 8-hour drive down here to the post office. I just drove it this morning coming here, and we're half a block away. So, and I know people that's a lot older than I am that's having to drive down here every day and get their mail. That's why several of us close neighbors, we just said, hey, one of us pick it up today and the other one pick it up tomorrow. So we're doing things like that, kind of curb the cost, not to mention that gas is nearly $5 a gallon now. And there's a lot of citizens there in Sycamore that on a fixed income. I am. And I don't want to drive no more than I have to.
Sure.
But now, you know, I've got a golf cart. Before, I could take my golf cart and run to the post office. It's a block away. And
I wouldn't recommend that coming to Chicago.
I can't do that.
I don't think it'd be.
I used to ride a bicycle, but I can't do that anymore.
I was going to jump in and say, you know, the post office. I got in touch with Steve Hurst, Representative Hurst.
Yeah.
Steve asked some questions, done a little digging out there. He was told and passed it on to me that it's going to put up a temporary service there at the site. Hadn't seen anything of that. Marshall at the credit union, Sycamore Credit Union, he's got a little small room back there. He said, hey, we can put some temporary boxes in here until they can figure out what they're going to do. But you just don't hear anything. It's just anything you say is
you have to be careful. You'll be breaking federal law.
Yeah, and see, they got it. Yeah. They've always had a drop box
Exactly.
outside the door of the post office that you could drop a letter in if they were closed or what. They taped it up. We can't even drop a letter. And we figured the least they could do is let us mail and then come by once a day and pick the mail up. They don't even want to do that. And they can't help if there is a termite problem, if there is structural damage to the building, they can't help that, but they could at least help the citizens. And my wife asked the postmaster directly, we've just recently paid our box rent. Are y'all gonna reimburse that? And he said, oh no, you're not gonna get your money back. So, and
That wasn't what you wanted to hear,
no,
was it?
and I know people that had just paid it the day before, and they're just out that money. And there's nobody, you know, they don't even say, hey, you need to go to this person above me. You don't even get that kind of communication. You just
some people. It was rumored. I think Miss Davidson may have heard there was some people over the other day taking some stuff off the walls, and I think she was told that they were going to bulldoze it down, and then she was told later they're going to fix it up and open it back up. So
2 minutes later,
by the same person within a few minutes. So that's the kind of stuff you're hearing, you know. And that's not all of it either, Jimmy Dale.
I went in
it's
there
several
a few
things.
minutes later, and the two employees still. I said, "Hey, I hear you guys opening the post office back up." He said, "That's what we're trying to do," and they taking stuff off the walls as hard as they go.
So you can physically go in the building?
You could then. They had it unlocked.
Okay.
It's locked now.
Okay.
They locked it up, but they was there working, so he was able to walk in.
They were there, so we could walk in and talk to them. But I mean, it's for all intent and purposes, it's closed.
Now, Sycamore community and that post office servicing, I don't know, what did you say, 600 something people?
About
545.
Yeah,
545
and
bucks.
Sycamore is a smaller community, an older community,
700,
but it's important that we understand that, hey, we have rights. At least we think we have rights anyway.
720, about 721 population, 545 people that collect mail
so
there.
2/3 of the people collect their mail right there.
Yeah. And you got to remember too, there's several down there that's annexed into the city of Sylacauga.
We are.
Matter of fact, Ronnie and his wife are. They're actually citizens of Sylacauga by being annexed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked, you know, I mean, here in Sylacauga, you can walk a block away from that post office and there's mailboxes.
Yeah.
And they get it for free. They're not paying $200 a year for them to come and deliver their mail. And they can mail from there, or they have the convenience, if they want a box at that post office, they can go get one. And they can go down and mail a package, and we're fine with that. I mean, I understand, you know, that if I ain't gonna put up a box out there at the driveway big enough to put a box in, a package, then I'm gonna have to go to a post office. I understand that. But to just get a letter, there's already a stamp on there that costs 50 cents. It's already paid its way to be delivered, but I gotta pay $200 a year just to get it. There was no option at Sycamore. You either owned the box, and there was no extra boxes. So how does a person, if anybody decided to build a house in Sycamore and move there, they couldn't get their mail.
Wow.
I was told by a postal worker, and I won't call any names, but a postal worker told me that he's been with them a long time, and he said, I've always heard that if you've got roadside service and you choose to have a box at the post office, you have to pay for it. But if you don't have roadside service, that box at the post office shouldn't cost you anything to use it because you don't have roadside service. But now they've always paid down there. The issue right now, that is a problem. It's expensive for a lot of people on fixed income. And that was an issue before they closed it down. I had several complaints from people down there. And I said, let me check into it. Well, before I could get into it real good, they closed the post office down. But the issue here is get those people to the post office, or let's let them put up mailbox and have a carrier to come through there and deliver mail at their house. And that would be the simplest thing to do. And I don't understand it. I mean, we got people in Fayetteville, if their mail got cut out down there, they drive the same distance you're down, especially if you're down at Talladega Springs. You're going to drive a similar distance like you would from Sycamore to the post office. Mm-hmm. They got mail coming to their houses down there. I don't understand why we can't get mailboxes in front of these people's houses. It floors me that they can't put somebody on a route to work that area.
Yeah, mail carrier drives right through Sycamore every day.
Talladega mail carrier comes right through there.
Did y'all have any idea that they were going to do this?
No, not a clue.
It just happened.
Just shut it down one morning.
We just showed up and door was locked.
No signs or anything?
Just printed out 8.5 by 11 on the door that it was temporarily closed due to structural problems with termites or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't remember exactly how it stated.
If a lot of the citizens in that area are my age, I'm on the edge of social media. I don't know a whole lot about social media. Yeah. And a lot of us, my parents did it then, but I'm sure older Americans doing it today, they still pay their bills by mail.
Sure, mm-hmm. We do a lot. It's either direct bank, mm-hmm. And we do mail. And there's still people out there, I'm sure, that get their retirement check through the mail.
Yeah.
Now, ours is bank deposit, but it's kind of scary what we're already experiencing here in Silicaga when we come down to get the mail. I mean, when you get someone, an employee of the post office, timesheet was in one of my neighbor's mail.
That's security.
Along with people she didn't even know.
Wow.
Mixed in her mail. So, we understand that mail can get stuck in the wrong box. Mm-hmm. It happened at Sycamore, and we would just walk over to the window and say, "Hey, this is not mine." But now
we actually would do that.
Yeah, but now it may be by the time I get home 8 miles before I realize I've got someone else's mail, or I got an employee's timesheet. Now, how that timesheet got in there, that's beyond me.
And let's be clear. It's not the employees at Silicaga Post Office.
No, we're not blaming the clerks here. They're overwhelmed by this as well. Because usually you could walk into Silicaga Post Office and there was minimal foot traffic. Now there's a line. And most of them are Sycamore residents, grumbling.
Here they come again.
I try not to grumble. I don't grumble to them, But if I catch postmaster every now and then, I might. But I'm not going to grumble to the average worker.
So what do we do next, guys?
I don't know.
That's why we're here. We hope that somebody will pick it up.
Yeah, we're very appreciative of what you're doing here and letting us do this, because this is the only outlet we
got to start somewhere
other than Facebook. Yeah. And be honest with you, most people don't pay Facebook much attention, even though they spend most of their life on it sometimes. But it is the only media that we've had to reach out and try to get some attention with this thing. And like I said, I've emailed 3 different people at Fox 6, including the general manager, sent him an email. The only one that responded just said, "I've received your email, we'll look into it." And that was 3 months ago. So obviously they're too busy, or they just don't want to touch it.
Well, let's see if we can't get something happening through our state here with some of these people watching today that's got connections and know about these things that can help our friends in Sycamore, Alabama.
Yeah, and if they want to call you and get our number, we'd be happy to talk to them.
Absolutely. And
Sure.
I know, Philip, you're as anxious as anyone to make sure that this is taken care of.
Exactly. Yeah. Those folks are part of my district, and you try to help everybody all you can. You get a call, and Lord, we get a lot of them. Matter of fact, we got one over in your neighborhood, a road we need to work on.
That's right.
So,
I'm still waiting too.
Yeah, still waiting too. Of course, the county's we're about 22, 23 employees short. That leads back to another story for another day.
Yeah.
You can't harm nobody, or they don't want to go to work. So it put us behind on everything, trying to get stuff done. We just put it on the list and get it quick as we can. So it's a little annoying, and it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
Something's gonna have to change across the board. We don't maintain where we're going, and my theory is the folks out in Sycamore, they don't really ask for a whole lot. They had a senior center, it got taken away. I'm gonna try to get it back going. And then Diane, Ronnie's wife Diane, we're working on it, try to get it back, something going there. The roads are not the best in the world. Of course, we got a bunch of bad roads. Sycamore ain't the only one. But you got folks down there, they ain't got a senior center anymore. They have to come to Sylacauga. Some of them, it leads back to them getting there. And then you've got 4 roads. You got this, you got that. And then on top of that, you have to put up and can't even get no mail without driving to Sylacauga. Now, how many taxes does anybody want to pay in getting 0 services? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong. I think the Postal Service ought to step up and give some answers. And if they say we're not ever going to have a post office, you can getting mail down here, then tell the people.
You can live with that.
Step up and tell them we're not going to do anything. But tell them something.
Yeah, let us know what's going on.
Let them know what's going on.
I mean, if you take in the county, if you take away Childersburg, Sylacauga, and Talladega, Sycamore is one of the largest communities in the county. And we just, we don't want any special attention. We just want
treated fairly is what
we
you
just
want.
want to be treated fairly.
Does it anger you, Ronnie, that as senior citizens, I mean, some of us are in the twilight of our life and feel like that we're just being bulldozed, just run over.
Well, in my former life as a customer service rep for 20 years with American Color, I learned to deal with situations, dealing with large companies, Walmarts of the world and stuff like that. So, no, I'm not angry. I wouldn't say I'm. I don't think the people in Sycamore are, if you sit down and talk with them, I don't think it's about being angry. It's frustrated. And it's frustrating. I mean, we watch the nightly news, we'll get frustrated. Just seeing what our own world is becoming to.
Yeah.
But when you got a post office that you've relied on, it goes back before I was born. And that nobody will talk to you or give you just a straight answer. We're not asking for the world. We're not wanting somebody to promise us something they can't keep. Just tell us the truth. What's wrong with that? And say,
I think the word's disheartening, ain't it? I don't think nobody's bad, they're just disheartened.
Yeah, you took away something overnight with no warning. There was nobody up there that said, hey, we want to let you know that we're going to give you a week or we're going to have to close this. Nobody did that.
Yeah. It didn't seem to be a plan in place, just close it down. In my line of work, and you do the same thing with your home and your business, if I make a change at my business, I've got a plan for that change. I don't understand how anybody closed down a building that way with no letter, no plan. they've got portable units, and Representative Hurst was told they were going to bring down a portable unit and put it in temporarily until they get a post office, which hadn't seen that either. You know, they've got those portable units, but they ain't even done that either, Jimmy Dale. So you know, you get told one thing and something different. It's just.
Well, the
like I said,
old saying, guys, is that the mail must go on where there's rain, sleet, snow, but not through Sycamore.
Not everywhere except Sycamore. Well,
everywhere.
There's others. We found out, Philip has found out that there's some up north of here in the northern county and north of us that they did the same thing, and that's been going on for over a year.
Yeah, that's been closed down for over a year and that anything. Those people driving about as far as y'all are to, I think, Pale City to pick their mail up. So this is not the first time we've closed one down in an area. But
without giving Ronnie's address, how can they contact you if they want more information or they think they can help with this?
256-872-6999.
You got a Facebook page or y'all do any of that?
They can hit me on Phillip Morris County Commissioner page.
I got a Facebook page.
Okay.
Ronnie Davidson.
Okay.
Ronnie Davidson.
All right. Just repeat that number again and we're going to get it.
256-872-6999.
Okay. Let's get something done for our friends in Sycamore, Alabama. Ronnie and Philip, we appreciate you both coming by this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jimmy Dale.
More Daybreak coming up right after this.